What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the spot where we kick back and react to all kind of different things. All right, so what we got going on today? We're about to get into some more science videos. This one we're gonna jump on over to Neil deGrasse Tyson, channel that I watch regularly, Star Talk. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna go to any like back episodes because I like to make sure all my reactions are first time reactions. And this is, like I said, I watch this channel a lot. But this is a new one that came out. I haven't seen this one yet, so I'll watch it with y'all. This one is a runaway black hole creating a trail of stars? First of all, I didn't even know there was a such thing as a runaway black hole. That sounds terrifying when you really think of what a black hole is. But let's go ahead and check it out. Get the explanation from Neil and a few laughs from Chuck Nice, who's always on here with him. Let's get into this. Let's go.
Chuck.
Yeah.
Got yet another explainer. There's no end of these.
Good.
I kept thinking,
We need them.
Will people get tired of them? I just don't know.
No, they're just increasing in popularity.
Yeah, well, there's a subject in the universe that no one grows tired of.
Oh.
The search for life, that's up there. But you know what I think is even higher than that?
Oh.
Black holes.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yes. People love black holes.
People love them some black holes.
Yeah.
And Jan 11 has been our
Oh yeah, I totally agree. Black holes are just, you see them all over the place. You see them in media, you hear people talking about them, always coming up in science videos. Black holes, I don't know why we're so obsessed with them. Maybe because the mystery,
go-to on this, but
Absolutely.
she comes to it as a physicist.
Yes.
So she can speak of black holes sort of in the abstract and the general relativity of them. But
And the blues music that they play.
the black hole blues, exactly.
Yeah.
But when a black hole shows up just in the house, in the astrophysicist house,
Right.
I got to bring in an astrophysicist, black hole expert.
Ooh.
So let me introduce you to my friend and colleague, Savik Ford. Savik, welcome to Star Talk.
Hey, Neil and Chuck.
All right.
Very lovely to be here. Thanks for having
Excellent.
me.
Excellent. And so you are in the City University System of New York. Which campus is that?
I am at Borough of Manhattan Community College, BMCC.
Okay, BMCC. All the
That's
way
right.
in.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah.
Right in the thick
And-
of it.
And the Grad Center. So
And the Graduate Center.
I get around.
That's the CUNY Grad Center, CUNY
Correct.
Graduate Center.
I'm
Excellent.
busy.
And so last I checked, your research interests are what black holes are doing in the galaxy, as they eat stars, as stars orbit them, as they collide. So you're a black hole maven in the house. So
This
great.
day in black holes.
I am proud to claim that title. And for the record, black holes don't suck. They're awesome.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I got you.
Right.
I thought
Awesome how? Awesome as in destructive? Because that's all I see. That's the only thing I can think of in the black hole. Powerful gravity, you can't escape if you get sucked into it. Even light can't escape it. It's like instant death in my eyes.
you're going to go where, what is it? There's no such thing as gravity. Earth sucks. You see? You ever hear that?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's where I keep all my stuff. I can't complain too bad.
So tell me, we checked recent news about a black hole that's just isolated with a whole trail of stars freshly born behind it, like just discovered, days ago. So Savik, who made this discovery?
The team was led by Peter Van Dockum at Yale.
Could you just tell me what that news story was and what the hell is going on in our backyard?
So it is very cool, and it's not super in our backyard. It's actually about 8 billion light years away.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So it's
it's a day's trip.
yeah. But
Might want to pack a suitcase.
you could be gone for a while. But it's one of these supermassive black holes. So I am very interested we think that most galaxies have supermassive black holes in their centers. We know that ours has a supermassive black hole. It's about 4 million times the mass of our sun in the center of our galaxy. And that's like kind of a small one. So yeah.
You have black hole envy, Chuck. It's been going on for a while.
I got to tell you, I do right now.
Yeah,
Wow.
even the Andromeda Galaxy, the nearest big galaxy to us, what's its mass? What's the mass of its black hole?
It's a little closer to like 10 million times the
Yeah,
mass of our
see?
sun.
See?
So yeah,
Oh
I know.
man, let me tell you, that's embarrassing in the locker room. God.
It's right there, the same. Right,
Chuck. Oh, but I was just thinking sort of the same thing. Like, how is it every time we discover something, it reminds us in how minute we are? It's like, going down the timeline, it's like, people thought that Earth is the center of the galaxy, obviously at one point, and then proven wrong. And then we find out that, we see the sun. We thought it was this little spot at one point that would just, like no bigger than any other star or asteroid or whatever, eventually realizing and learning just how massive the sun is and how it dwarfs our planet. And now we find out, that the center of our galaxy is a black hole that dwarfs everything. And now we're finding out that other galaxies and their black holes dwarf it. Like, how small are we? Just how small are we?
across the way, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this one, did we get a mass on this one?
Yeah, so this is actually
Jeez.
kind of in the Andromeda territory, maybe a little bit bigger, like 2 or 20 million times the mass of our sun.
Okay.
And so there's and we think that there's actually the story that we've got is that there might be 3 black holes involved in this whole situation. So yeah.
Three distinct black holes that have not yet merged, but we're just observing them because we can't really observe them because there's no light.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so like basically, right, black holes give off no light. And so how do we observe them? And we have to rely on them influencing matter around them. And if that matter can give off light, then we can observe the influence of the black hole.
And
that's
infer the
basically
black
what
hole
we're doing.
from what it did to the light. And the
Exactly.
other, okay. Mhm,
Yes,
mhm.
yes, yeah. And that's generally like how we do these things. So this is like another example of it, but it's a very weird example. It was totally unexpected. The people who found it were not looking for it. They were looking at something else in the frame, and then they got this weird line, like straight line, which is not something you don't see a lot of straight lines in the universe. So they saw this really long straight line.
And just to be clear,
Yeah.
Man, how mind-blowing is that? Like, to be that guy who was over here, or that girl, whoever was behind it, looking through a telescope, observing something, just doing your regular thing, and next you know, you see something weird off to the side, and you go look at it, and you discovered a traveling black hole that's apparently 3 and 1 traveling together. Insane. Like, I know that whoever made that initial discovery, I know they got to be doing backflips at just how lucky they are. I would be hyped about it.
this is evidence that we can discover things we're not looking for. Okay. Because
Yes.
people wonder that, right? Do you have receptors for things you didn't ask a question about yet? The answer is yes, we
Right.
do.
Yeah.
And sometimes science is like looking for your keys. It's like you lost your keys, you go looking for them, you're like, look at that, $20. Look at that. How great is that?
Yep.
Hey,
Yep.
good analogy.
So like that was totally what happened here. They were not looking for it. They were looking for other stuff. And they're like, whoa, $20. That's pretty great, guys. We've
Mhm.
got this line, and lines are weird. So, anybody who's looking at a picture of galaxies in space and they see like a straight line across it, it's like, And that's a big thing, right? You don't have necessarily eureka moments. You have that's weird moments. And so that's what happened here. These scientists were looking for something else entirely, and they saw this straight line, and it was really long and really thin. So it's about 40 kiloparsecs in length, which is about the width of our entire Milky Way galaxy,
Oh,
Okay.
right?
Uh-huh.
And so it's really
About 100,000 light years. Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
really long, and it's pointing back at this other galaxy that's a lot smaller than ours, which it's been it's 8 billion years old, so we've galaxies have grown in that time. They were smaller. It's pretty normal galaxy for the time that it was in, but it's small for modern galaxies. And they were trying to figure out what could cause a straight line. Sometimes we see jets that shoot out of supermassive black holes that live in the centers of galaxies, and they make straight lines. But this one, they looked at it in a lot of different wavelengths, and they were trying to figure out, well, if it was a jet, it should be spreading out as it goes away from the center of the galaxy. And they didn't see that kind of behavior. They also didn't see any evidence that it was an active galaxy, which was swallowing matter. So if black holes are going to shoot stuff out, that's usually while they're swallowing material, and there was no evidence of that. So they're like, what could this straight line thing be? It actually gets narrower the further away from the galaxy you go. And they realized when they were looking at it that if it was a jet, it should be giving off radio waves and X-rays, and it's not doing those things. But it looks like there's a lot of really bright young stars.
Wait, so these are those other wavelengths you said that they looked in and they didn't notice? Because if you just look at one wavelength, what do you know? You don't know anything, right? Until you see
exactly.
what else it's doing.
Yeah. You can't, it's like if you had like black and white photography, right? You can't always tell what's going on, but if you have like a color photograph, things really pop and you can learn a lot from that. So they basically went out and got a lot of X-rays and radio wave data, and besides the visible light, and they could tell that there were stars that are young, really young, and they realized that if a supermassive black hole had been shot out of the nucleus of the galaxy about 40 million years ago, then it could, as it's passing through the gas that surrounds that galaxy and every galaxy, it could cause little condensations of that gas that would collapse and form new stars. And it would do that like in a straight line because it's being shot out in a straight line. And so as it's going along, it's going to leave this trail of star formation behind it.
So a gas cloud mining its.
That is fascinating and pretty awesome. Still a little nervous, still a little weird. Like, why is this black hole shooting through space? And does it have any chance at all of passing through here? Please tell me that there's no chance. The little scaled map thing that they showed looked like it wasn't anywhere near us, but that could just be some kind of model that's inaccurate. I don't know. So I'm like, as long as it's not heading in our direction, I'm okay. But outside of that, outside of the danger aspect, yeah, I find that to be pretty fascinating. I know it's not going to crash to us in our lifetime. I understand that much. It's just knowing that if I know it's heading this way, it just makes you feel weird. Like, I know I'm not going to live to see it, but just knowing that a black hole is coming for us would be unnerving. But anyway, still, leaving us trail of stars, brand new stars from the entire process of forming gas as it's traveling by, that is pretty awesome. And the fact that we're only just discovering this not too long ago is crazy.
So
new discoveries all the time.
Make stars, so it has to be perturbed in some way, such as the black hole passing through it, punching through it, I guess. Yeah.
It's kind of like if you've seen like those cool videos of like a bullet shooting through a gas, right? And it leaves that little turbulent wake behind it where it's got all of those like fun, and so that those turbulent chunks could then collapse and form new stars.
Okay, so I'm fine with this, but somewhere in there you said it got shot out of a galaxy.
Yeah, right? Like it's got shot out of a galaxy. So
can we go back to that right now, please?
It's like 10 million times the mass of the sun. It got shot out of a galaxy. You don't just, that doesn't just like happen, right? Yeah. So this is why you need 3 black holes for this to happen. So the basic idea is that when you have 2 galaxies that collide, they've each got a supermassive black hole in the middle, then the 2 black holes come together and they can form a binary supermassive black hole where they're orbiting around each other and they orbit really, really fast. If you were to have a 3rd galaxy come in and drop its supermassive black hole in, then you could get some kind of interaction, like a gravitational slingshot, and the binary could kick that 3rd object out. And this thing is actually, if this interpretation of this finding is correct, this thing is going at 1,600 kilometers a second.
So, Savik, how fast is that?
It would get you from the Earth to the moon in just a matter of minutes.
Well, it took the astronauts 3 days. So just for comparison,
yes,
we're talking fast. All right.
Cruising.
All right. So this is the first of its kind that we've known.
Yes.
We love this.
This is definitely the first clear-cut example. And it's also very exciting because the binary black hole that should have been what was responsible for shooting out this one that's going on this straight line that they have observed, we won't necessarily see the binary, but it is in the right mass range that in the future we could detect it with gravitational waves. And so
if they collide with each other.
No, not if they collide with each other. So
just for existing.
Just as a binary,
Wow.
because there's a space mission that's going to launch in 2034, LISA, the Laser Interferometric Gravitational Array, and it is built to detect binaries of like 10 million times the mass of the sun.
So I got it. Okay.
In gravitational waves.
LIGO was detecting black holes that are tens of times the mass of the sun.
Yes.
So the million times, that's a whole other detection regime.
Mm.
Yeah, you need a totally different telescope, a totally different everything. So, and if you were to be much more than 10 million times the mass of the sun, you'd actually be too massive for LISA to see it. And so you would need even a different tactic. Okay. So this is really exciting that like we could point to this one and be like, we think there might be a binary right there.
So not everything in the universe feeds us in the wavelengths of our telescopes, of our chosen telescope. You got to meet the universe on its own grounds, in a sense. Is that a fair way to put it?
Yeah.
Well, so now part of me is thinking, Savik, part of me, this is just the antagonistic part of me is, well, they don't know what this thing is. So let's say 3 black holes made it. It's like, why not just say aliens did it? I mean, how frequent is a 3 black hole thing? Is this really a thing?
As frequent as black holes come home from college. They come home from college, and the binary, which is the parents, are like, Trevor, listen, your mother and I have decided that you need to pay rent, and we're gonna need to get $900 a month from you. And Trevor is like, for $900, I could get my own place. And the parents are like, exactly. Get out, Trevor.
Wait, Chuck, there's a very sensitive generation listening to you now about this very same issue.
You're absolutely right. I forgot. Yeah. Don't worry, kids. I'm not a homeowner either.
Wait, so Savik, so at what point do you reach for extraordinary explanations?
So there is, I would say this is not that extraordinary in the sense that a lot of people have suspected that there will be these systems of 3 black holes and 1 getting ejected.
And all you required was 3 galaxies for that, which we know surely has happened.
Yeah.
Definitely. Like we've got examples, like I can point to you for like, there's great Hubble images of like triple galaxy collisions. Like they happen all the time.
So Chuck, both of you in my lifetime, because Savik, I'm a little older than you, I was around when that
all the time, as if it's not something that occurs, like takes billions of years at a time to happen. It's like, all the time. Another one's happening tomorrow.
Cottage industry was born within modern astrophysics, just the study of merging galaxies. And it was called mergers and acquisitions. It was it was in the 80s
Wall
too.
Street 80s.
It was very 80s Wall Street, mergers and acquisitions.
Galaxies are good.
That's awesome.
The Gordon Gecko of the universe.
Wow.
The more they eat, the better.
Chuck.
Right,
Exactly.
it's good.
Yeah.
So all right. So I'm glad to hear that, because you know there are going to be people saying aliens did it, right? They have some black hole some black hole cannon or something.
Right.
Yeah. There might be a guy we all know at some particular institution who might want to claim that, and the rest of us will laugh and say, that's just hobby. So,
Like, no.
All right, well, Savik, thanks for this.
yeah.
And just I'm delighted that you could bring this expertise to our explainer. Occasionally, our explainers do current events, and I like reaching out to my peeps out there. Well, again, Savik, thank you for that bit of expertise dropped into our weekly explainer.
Thank you for having me. Lovely.
And Chuck, always good to have you there, man.
Always a pleasure.
Neil deGrasse Tyson here, your personal astrophysicist. Keep looking up.
All right, that's the end of that one. So yeah, really interesting stuff. Insane. Only recently discovered a triple black hole that's just traveling, that's just flying through space. Possibly because another black hole bumped it out from its position. It's crazy the kind of stuff that we can find out. And yeah, anybody who's like, oh, it couldn't have happened naturally, aliens must have done it. There's so many ways to tell you you're wrong. So many ways. First of all, you have to explain the concept of another species being around long enough and figuring out how to manipulate something that has a gravitational pull so strong it pulls in light. It's like, not to say that it's impossible. Maybe one day we'll figure it out, hundreds of years from now. But you got to have some kind of explanation for it. So I don't want to hear any alien talk in the comments, all right? No alien talk. Now that I've said it, I'm pretty sure that's going to be alien talk. But anyway, that was a good one. So you guys know what to do. Go down in the comment section. Let me know what y'all thought about this one. Let me know what you'd like to see me react to next. Hit that like button before you go. Share this video with everyone you know. And subscribe if you haven't done so already, all right? So, till next time, take care of yourselves. And I'm out of here.